beyond the gates, the Monkey King found a paradise unlike anything he had ever seen. Exotic flowers spread like brocade across the ground, and jade-green grasses lined the stone bridge, releasing fragrance into the mountain air. Cliffs rose steeply, slick with dark moss, while ferns cascaded from overhanging walls. From somewhere high above came the cry of a crane, and phoenixes wheeled through banks of colored cloud. But the cave door itself was shut tight. Not a sound, not a footprint, not the slightest trace of any living soul marked the entrance. The Monkey King stood before the great door and waited, his heart pounding with anticipation, yet he dared not knock. He had traveled for over 10 years across 2 vast oceans and an entire continent to reach this sacred place. He would not rush now. Then he turned his head and saw it. A stone tablet standing at the cliff's edge, towering 3 zhang high and 8 feet wide. Across its face was carved a single bold line of words. His eyes traced the inscription: Spirit Terrace, Square Inch Mountain, Slanted Moon, 3 Stars Cave. A shiver of recognition ran through him. After all his wandering, he had truly found the place. Overcome with joy, the Monkey King leaped up into the branches of a pine tree and began picking pine cones, cracking them open and tossing the seeds into his mouth. He swung from branch to branch, restless and giddy, unable to contain himself. This was the place. This was the end of his journey. He only needed to wait for the right moment to announce himself. After a little while, a sound, a soft creak, broke the silence. The heavy cave door swung open, and out stepped a boy. The Monkey King's breath caught in his throat. This was no ordinary child. The boy stood tall and straight, his bearing dignified, his features refined and strange, utterly unlike any common youth the Monkey King had encountered in all his years of wandering the mortal world below. 2 silk ribbons bound the boy's hair in neat top knots, and his wide sleeves billowed in a breeze that seemed to come from nowhere. His face was calm, his eyes clear and depthless, as though his mind had already shed every attachment the world could offer. He moved with the easy grace of someone who had lived among these mountains for longer than any mortal lifetime could ever measure. The boy looked around the empty courtyard and called out in a clear voice, "Who is making trouble out here?" The Monkey King dropped from the pine branch like a falling leaf, landed lightly on his feet, and hurried forward with his hands clasped in respect. "Immortal child," he said, bowing low, "I am a disciple seeking the way. I would never dare disturb this sacred place." The boy regarded him for a moment, then smiled. "You came to seek the way." The Monkey King nodded eagerly. Yes, I did that." The boy's eyes brightened with recognition. "My master just rose from his seat and climbed the teaching platform. Before he even explained why, he told me to come open the door. He said someone seeking cultivation had arrived and told me to receive them. That must be you, Dut." The Monkey King laughed and clapped his hands together. That is me. The immortal boy gestured toward the dark doorway behind him. "Then come with me inside." The Monkey King straightened his tattered clothes, composed his restless face into something approaching solemnity, and followed the boy through the threshold into the depths of the cave heaven, leaving behind the mortal world he had known. Inside, the cave opened into a vast, celestial palace. Layer upon layer of jeweled pavilions rose before him, each more splendid than the last. Pearl halls and shell chambers stretched into the distance, silent and serene, places of meditation so tranquil they seemed to exist outside of time itself. The Monkey King followed the boy deeper and deeper until they reached a great jade platform at the very heart of the mountain. There, seated upon the jade platform, was the sage Subhuti. 30 young immortals stood in attendance on either side, quiet as statues. The Monkey King's eyes went wide. The old master radiated a light that had nothing to do with lamps or torches. It came from within, the luminous presence of someone who had long since cast off every speck of worldly impurity and touched something eternal. He was the golden immortal of Great Awakening, the supreme master of the Western paradise. His body bore no stain of the mortal realm, neither born nor destroyed. He had mastered the 33 heavens and 10,000 compassions. His true nature flowed with the emptiness of all things, yet moved through the world with effortless grace. He had lived as long as heaven itself, a teacher whose light had shone through countless ages. The Monkey King fell to his knees and knocked his head against the floor again and again. "Master, Master," he cried, "your disciple bows with all his heart." Subhuti regarded him calmly. "Where are you from? Tell me your homeland and your name, then we continue. The Monkey King pressed his forehead to the stone. "Your disciple is from the Water Curtain Cave on Flower Fruit Mountain, in the kingdom of Aolai, eastern continent of Ballista." Subhuti's expression turned sharp. "Drive him out," he commanded. "That place lies across 2 great oceans and an entire continent. How could anyone from there reach this mountain? He is a fraud and a liar." The Monkey King's heart seized with panic. He hammered his head against the floor. "Master, I swear, every word is true. I crossed the seas and wandered the earth for over 10 years before I found this place." Subhuti's gaze softened. "Very well. What is your surname?" The Monkey King scratched his head. "I have no surname. If someone scolds me, I feel no anger. If someone hits me, I feel no grudge. I just smile and move on. Subhuti chuckled. "Not that kind of nature. Were your parents surnamed anything?" The Monkey King shook his head. "I have no parents. I was born from a stone on Flower Fruit Mountain." Subhuti's eyes gleamed with secret pleasure. "Then you are a child of heaven and earth. He watched the Monkey King limp across the floor and smiled. "You look like a macaque who eats pine cones. I shall give you the surname Sun. Among my 12 generations, yours is the 10th